It's another beautiful Sunday afternoon. This is Rubbin Minds. Welcome. My name is Ebuka Bucha, and our very last show in the month of August on what has been a very rainy day in Lagos. Lots of pictures and videos of parts of Lagos flooded. I don't know. I hope we continue to make efforts at least to clear up what has become an annual occurrence. You would think that by now we would take permanent measures at least to fix the flooding issues in Lagos. We know that most of them are not things that can be fixed overnight. A lot of distortions in the master plan of this city has resulted in what we live with today, where a 3-4 hour downpour leads to extreme flooding, and all because houses have been built in over canals and drains and all of that. But we hope you're safe wherever you are. We hope your property is safe wherever you are. And wherever you're watching across Nigeria, I hope you're having a better day than most Lagosians are. You're very welcome. Like I said, it's our very last show in the month of August, a month that has been quite dramatic and also quite interesting, with a lot of sports talk with regards to the Olympics, which ended last week. All of that is over now, and we're back to the distraction is over, and now we're back to facing our many issues in Nigeria. And like I always say on this show, 1 week in Nigeria is like a lifetime in many other countries. So much has happened in the last week, and we're going to be looking at the front page and all of the things that caught our attention. I have here with me Stephen Oguntoyinbo, who will help me discuss all of this. You're very welcome.
Good afternoon.
Yes. There's a lot that's happened this week. Unfortunately, the herdsmen are still in the news. We did hear that there was a bit of an issue as well in Enugu State again recently. A few people have been killed again. People are saying these are not herdsmen. It's Boko Haram under the guise of herdsmen. A lot is happening, but unfortunately, the most important thing is that people are dying for no reason. Why are we still having this issue?
I think for me as a person, is the government everybody has a key responsibility to play. It's a joint effort. And a lot of time when I hear about security issues, the herdsmen, the Boko Haram, and insurgents, I think that the government are trying their effort, putting up all efforts to. The Niger Delta crisis also is still there, and quite a number of crises coming up every time. I think the government and the security agencies are trying their best to at least reduce or put a stop to these insurgencies that's going on in different parts of the world, in different parts of the states in Nigeria. And I think that it's a collective responsibility. The security outfit have the role to play. The NGOs themselves have the role to play in also creating more awareness and sensitizing the public to be security conscious at every part of the look and crannies in the society that we find ourselves. But I think the government is also putting effort to place. Today I heard over the news where the military, which is the army, the Nigerian army, started a joint task force, which is a force which is called Operation Crocodile. It's Operation Crocodile, and this is an operation where they're going into the jungles to find these guys who are causing these menace in the society. But
isn't this an indictment on the Nigerian police as a whole? We always seem to forget that their role is actually to keep Nigerians safe in Nigeria. And we hear sometimes that these attacks are actually forewarned. They give a community notice that we're going to come, and then they come and then carry out these heinous crimes, and nothing happens. Why is the police not held to higher standards yet in this country?
I think it's, for me, I watch the news over the time, and I see the promises the Nigerian police make in terms of combating crime in different parts of Nigeria. And I think that they're also putting the effort. I've seen a lot of work. Driving yesterday through the Lagos mainland, not through Ojota, and I found that there was a traffic, and I saw the police men standing and entering into the bush to see. I think they are trying their best, but I think that we all should also encourage them to put their best into action. For me, I think they're trying their best, and I think that we should also encourage them to put more effort to what they are doing.
Mr. President has still not categorically said anything about the herdsmen issue. And a lot of Nigerians have an issue with that. They feel like maybe if he had spoken up or had acknowledged the fact that this is happening, maybe there would have been a difference. Do you agree?
I think the spokesperson to the to Mr. President also over the time has also spoken about what they've been doing, what the security agencies are doing, both the Nigerian police, the army, the Nigerian defense force, and the Nigerian Air Force also. And Judge, we need to also see a way that I think that he might not actually come out and say this is what we're doing, but I also think that he has a spokesperson that also needs to be held responsible to, or held accountable to speak like a voice to the Mr. President. I think, for me, I don't know why he has not come to the public to also address this issue of these herdsmen. But I think that maybe in time, very soon, he's still going to come out and speak more about this.
All right, let's move on.
Let's wait and see what's going to do.
Let's wait and see, of course. Something that's also bothered a lot of Nigerians is the issue of the internally displaced persons and their welfare. We heard about food scarcity, we heard about malnourishment, we heard so many stories about even funds being misappropriated, and people have equated it to what President Buhari has cried about with regards to funds being misappropriated to fight crime or to fight the security issue in the Northeast. That is probably even worse, because these people just need food and basic amenities in these camps, and it's not getting to them. We're seeing pictures almost unbelievable of children in these camps, and you wonder, is this really Nigeria? You know, I mean, he did speak during the week and promised to rehabilitate Boko Haram victims and all of that. But why are we still talking about this? He's been in office for over a year now. Shouldn't this be a sorted issue?
I think it should have been sorted. If we're sorting out other logistic issues that need to be addressed in this country, I think the issue of this internet displaced people also should be put into consideration. It should be put into consideration. I was listening to the United Nations was also analyzing why there is need to get more support into these internet displaced people. I heard him saying that they need more international funds to be pumped in to support these people in terms of food, basic amenities that they need, in terms of housing, in terms of food, in terms of shelter and food. But I think that the government also have a key role, the president also have a key role to play in holding people who are also not making use of the appropriate fund meant to be used for this reason, to hold them accountable for this reason. I think that if we're given a fund for this reason and you're not using it and we're not seeing the result is not being shown. We're not seeing the reality of this fund. We're sowing, like we're just sowing a seed without seeing the result of it germinating. So I think they should be held accountable. And we live in a society now that if injustice or anything or corrupt practices, you have to be held accountable. I think there should be a task force that should be set up to look into these matters and then address and see the people who are not making use of the agencies who are not making this work for us. I think. With the government you see now in place, do you see, with the body language and the way they have carried on business or the operations in the last, give or take, year plus? I think people are sitting up in every sector.
Do you see them doing actually what you want them to do?
For me, I think they're doing their best. And they're doing their best, but on a realistic scale, for me, if I have to scale them from 1 to 10, I'll give them a score mark of, I know you want to hear the score marks discussion. I'll give them a basic of 4. But I still think that it's not something we should just wait for the government to do overnight. Okay. I think the government also have to, I know the government also have a role to play in terms of putting structures into place. Yeah. They know what to do. And also they have special advisors who are also advising them to put things into place. So I know, and I'm rest assured that in no time, let's give them more time. It's not something they will wake up in the morning and they would have to put action into place. So I'm so rest assured that we give them a little more time to perform their best. I think their performance scale will rise.
The economy has been the biggest issue facing Mr. President now, surprisingly for a lot of people, because most people thought, okay, the economy was pretty okay when he took office. The issues we had at the time were security and maybe corruption, and if you tackle these things, maybe Nigeria would be on its way to being a sustainable society for the most part. Security, he's tackling at least to an extent. Corruption, it seems to be the main crux of this government. But the economy for most people is in tatters, if I may use those words. The naira continues a free fall. We're hearing figures around 415 naira today, which is ridiculous by any standards. And from what we hear, it's probably going to be falling by another 100 naira if it actually is left to float properly. So we're not even at where it should be now. We're hearing, GDP, we're no longer the biggest economy in Africa. Inflation figures are all over the place. There's a lot happening, and we don't seem to get a clear direction. It looks like every week there's a new policy. For example, with the dollar, this week it's floated, next week banks are suspended, the other week one bank is allowed to trade. We're not sure what's really happening, and the price of basic foodstuff is unbelievable right now. I was reading the newspapers, I think 2 days ago, and feeds for chickens are scarce in the market now because corn is expensive. How can we continue like this?
It's something I have to breathe in and breathe out. A lot of foreign investors now who are investing in a lot of business in Nigeria are trying to pack their bag and baggages and leave. You hear about a lot of companies are folding up, and there's downsides in terms of staffs in a lot of companies. What I know, and I am rest assured about, is that the government should also put more effort in terms of sustaining Nigerian economy, and also encourage foreign investors to come back. A lot of foreign investors are packing their bag and baggages and leaving the country. We hear about 10 investors who are leaving in terms of the shipping industry. And I know that the government also have a role to play in terms of speaking to the key stakeholders in terms of investing into agriculture, investing into petrol, oil and gas, investing into different sectors, education, entrepreneurship, and different sector, media. But I think agriculture is also a key role to play. I see a lot of people who say, oh, I earn, the basic money that I earn, salary I earn in a month is 50,000. How would I sustain myself? The cost of transportation has increased. The cost of living has increased. The cost of, what would I call it? Even education has increased. And some people say the only thing you don't pay for in Nigeria is breathing in the air. But I think also that the government also has a role to play in terms of encouraging foreign investors to invest more in different sectors.
How do you encourage them if the economy tells them a different story? How do you make them believe that they should invest in an economy that they see isn't making any progress? It looks like we're fighting a losing battle as it is.
Yes, it looks like we're fighting a battle that we cannot. We're fighting a battle that we are rest assured that we cannot conquer. But I'm still rest assured that if hands is we get more hands into place in terms of who is the Minister of Foreign and who is the Minister of Finance. Let's see a way of strategizing and getting people, the think tank team, to say what are strategies that we can put into place. That's why we have the SA, the SSA in function. So I think also they need more hands and also get young Nigerians, not even young vibrant Nigerians, people who can also be on the think tank team to also see how do we move the economy to the next level. Because I think, and I know, and I'm rest assured, I'm rest assured that this government have enormous funds that we need to also leverage on. In terms of agriculture is, if you go to most of the countries, I think a lot of countries also live on what they earn from agriculture, on the issue of agriculture, not even oil and gas, not even petroleum, not even crude oil. I think that the government also, and I'm rest assured that the government also have a key role to play in terms of investing more in getting more in agriculture and also getting a think tank to also help them think and also put things into place.
All right, thank you very much. I mean, if we talk about Nigeria, there's never enough time to go through all of it, but thank you very much for being here today. Hopefully, people are listening. We keep hoping the government listens to all of this that we talk about and they make our lives better. Thanks for being here today.
It's a pleasure.